Good afternoon, everyone. This is Brad Matheny. Today is the 16th of August. This is a gold chart, and this is an update to the Plan Your Trade video from earlier this morning. So what we're seeing now with gold is really quite impressive. Let's take a look here as I try to get through the rest of my day. You can see we had this big rally coming out of my apexing flag formation, really solidly moving up. I mean, I predicted a 2550 area. We've gotten there. We moved from a 2470, 2480 low up to 25, roughly 40, really about 2538. Huge move. I mean, that's a $50 move in gold, and I've had to rethink my planning. If you take a look at the daily chart, I've had to rethink my planning. I mentioned this to you guys over the weekend, that really I'm starting to think now the 2600, 2640 area, really more so along the lines of this 2600, 2620 area, is the next big target for gold. So, we come in here. I'm going to try to get the price bars to show up. There we go. Visual order, bring to front. And again, as I mentioned to you, you can say my charts look funny or I've got too much crap on them or whatever, but I want you to remember that it's the content, the actual validity of what I'm presenting to you, not how I draw my charts. And if I have lines you don't understand on here, I have been nailing and pinpointing moves in the SPY and in Bitcoin and in IWM and in gold, and pretty much any chart I decide to pop up, I can piece apart a decision very, very quickly because I've been doing this for a long time. And again, I want you to focus on the fact that, am I accurate in my interpretation? Am I accurate in my presentation? Am I providing you helpful information? Are you able to execute off of these and to be able to make better trading decisions? Because that's the ultimate goal. I mean, I could go back to cleaning up the charts, and maybe I'll go to a blank chart and just tell you what I see and make it look all blank and empty. And it'll be the same content telling you what I see, but you won't be able to visualize it. And visualizing it is so critically important. So that's why I want you to be able to see this, because if you can see it, you're going to be able to potentially learn it, and you're going to be able to replicate it. And if you can't see it, what are you going to be able to learn? What are you going to replicate? How are you going to be able to pick up on the techniques that I'm showing you and where we're at with these trends? So we've had this big, beautiful trend. And again, very simple 5-wave flag count: A, B, C, D, breakout E. Here we go up to this level, and you can see huge move. Okay, 2538 looks like it's going to continue to push higher. Now let's go take a look at the SPY. Move my mouse out of the way so it doesn't pick up on some object, and you can see we are continuing. That today's pattern was an inside breakaway. Let me go find it right here. So here we are with our inside breakaway on 816 in a trending mode. Looked a little weak. I warned about a potential rotation to the downside early in the morning, expecting the market may be stalling a little bit today. Looks like the market's just really rolled into this inside breakaway range, and now we're moving into the breakaway. So if you take a look here, you're going to see that this is the 10-minute SPY chart. You're going to see that we're moving into a period of, let's call it, struggling right now. You can see essentially a flagging pattern setting up. You can see it very clearly. Remember, price either does one of two things. I will repeat, and you'll hear me say this over and over again. It either flags or it trends. Okay, so I'm going to try to come across this dual support rejection level. Really, it's about here is where I guess that these dual rejections take place, right around the low of this candle. So if I carry that out, you're going to see we get a pretty decent little flag set up right here. And then we do the same thing across these rejection areas, potentially out to here. And then let's come in and try to take a look at the count. So hypothetically, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe some volatility, and then maybe up into a 5. So we could get a pretty solid squeeze into the end of trading today. We only got about an hour and 15 minutes to go, but we could get a pretty solid upward squeeze into the end of trading today, which would be a pretty solid move into the end of day trading. Let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick. Bitcoin, very solid move to the upside. Let's come back over here to the daily. Okay, we're still moving through my potential flagging formation. We do have this rotational low. So, I'm not going to move the flag that I drew yesterday. I'm going to wait to see what happens here. That 5,700 area, I've drawn it with this green rectangle from way back over here, is really strong support. Now, when you get into this 56,800, 57,000 area, that's very strong support. It has been proven. Here's rejection, here's down, rejection, here's down, rejection, down, rejection, down, rejection, down, rejection. You get it over and over again. And these rejections are very important for you to really understand what support and resistance does. If support works, price is going to reject off of a support level, even when it gets much deeper, like right down here. Okay, well, this is basically sellers that control the market, and then they lose control of the market. And then, they're losing control at the end of this bar. Then they open to the next bar, the buyers have control, the sellers battle back, trying to move it downward. They lose again, and the buyers continue to drive the market higher, forcing the sellers out as exit trades, which drives a huge rally bar. So here we have this downward move. We're getting a bit of rejection. We probably have a lot of sellers back over in this area. And once this continues to trend higher, I think we're going to probably see something along the lines of this. And let me do a quick count. So we have an A, B move here, assuming this is not the pullback. A, B, C, D. This could be the pullback. So this could be a washout pattern like this, meaning we could have already reached the apex, flagging out, and what we have here is not necessarily this pattern. What we would be looking at is something more along the lines of this. We would have an A, B, C, D washout, D low, moving into an uptrend. So at this point, I really do think that, low levels down or below 57,000, again, would be an excellent opportunity for a move back up into 68. And I believe the flagging pattern looks like it's complete. If I use the rejection points, come across here, we get a washout low. This is called a washout low. This is price volatility near the apex. You remember, we had this move here. This was our rotation. A, B, C, down into D, broke through, which is that deep low volatility, flushing out longs, failing, should move back up to the apex, may stall, may end up coming up here and stalling near the apex a bit, but will eventually move higher. Okay, so we're going to leave you there. It's a Friday. I will go back to the SPY. We are at 554. Let's go down to the 10-minute, see what we're doing. stalling out. We had reached 555, which if you remember, was my upper target area way back here. That's so funny. Way back here, when this whole thing bottomed, I kept talking about getting up to 554, 555, right into this area here, right above this blue line here. And that's where I kept telling everyone, we're going to have to get up in this area. We're going to have to see a move. And I think if we take a look over here again at the SPY cycle pattern, we move into a gap potential, Bozu trending top. So we likely have trend, counter trend, topping pattern. I would say we have volatility in the next week, likely a little higher. This Tuesday, the 20th, could roll a bit downward. Then we have pausing, Harami flat, Harami inside, and that's the end of the week. Then we move into this breakaway pattern. So more trending, consolidation, and then possibly rotation, which does set up for a mild, and I'll get rid of this. I want you to see this, and this while we're at it. But it does set up for a mild head and shoulders formation off of this low. So understand that when we get into next week, we might get a little pop over here, and then we might get the Bozu trend, and we might get some consolidation, but we're looking at setting up some type of a head and shoulders formation, maybe over here where we have the inverted head and shoulders here, moving through next week. It may take just a quick little blip down here into the 543, 545 area. It may be much shallower, and it may just completely ignore this and rally right out of it. But that Bozu trending in counter trend mode, this pattern right here, Bozu trending in counter trend mode, can be a pretty large bar. So we could see a fairly large downward bar on the 20th, followed by an upward trending topping pattern, followed by consolidation for 2 bars, and then followed by the following week into into breakaway trending. So, we've got some trending yet to go, guys. Okay, and this has been a really solid rally phase here. I want to see the S&P squeeze higher at the end of the day, but we'll see what ends up happening. Okay, that's it for now.